So, hello again. You're joining me on the walk up towards Styhead Town. Doing a 2-night camp this time, and looking to do 2 summit camps. One on top of Great End, and the other on the summit of Pike and Blisco. So that hill there, that peak, is Great Gable, and to the left of it, it is, hang on, Kirkville. We've got Great End there in the middle, and just to the right of it is Lingfell. And obviously, because there's not been any rainfall here the past 2-3 weeks, it's definitely not flowing at full capacity. Not entirely sure how full it should be, but I'm guessing it will be doing more water than this normally. Flipping heck, it's a tough one. Probably not quite halfway up the route, but the heat is stranger. But that's where I've come from. That's a tough climb. I'm probably not quite halfway up to the ridge where I want to be by Styhead Town, but just this heat just really saps the energy out of you. So I'll show you where I come from. So down in the middle there is Wasdale Head, where I've come from, and that's at the head of Wastwater. Wow, but golly, I'm glad I didn't come up here any earlier. Oh, I set off just about 4:45, and definitely a good time because it's just after the heat of the day, and so it makes the rest of the hike marginally cooler. So I'm halfway between Styhead Town and Sprinkling Town, and it's absolutely peaceful up here. Just listen to this. So peaceful. It's really nice and cool now. There's a nice gentle breeze coming through this little valley, which makes it a bit more bearable walking up here. As I mentioned in my last hiking vlog, I only use a map and compass for my navigation, and this is Sprinkling Town. This is also a popular place for wild campers to camp. and maybe a couple later on. Although to be fair, it is getting to that time of day, 6:30, when people will be setting up camp. Oh yeah, potentially 2 up there. Yeah. So, but I'm doing a summer camp up to the right, up there. But now I'm going to fill up with water. Right, so I've filled up for extra supplies of water, so I can go carry on up to my camp. Well, the peak where I intend to camp. It's not too far to go now. So it does mean I've got a bit of extra weight, but at least I'm not going to be caught short and have to find water. The midges might be an issue tonight, but I have got insect repellent. That town looks absolutely lovely to camp by. Yeah. But I want to get sunrise and sunset, so that's not a good enough camp tonight. Another time maybe. Right. So this is Great End from the east side of it, and then to the right, no, to the left, sorry, we've got Broad Crag, and then behind that you've got Pike, which is of course the highest point in England. And if you look around, it's getting a bit hazy now. Yeah, that's the Central Lakes. And around, so I think that is Buttermere water in the distance. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, onwards to the top. Here we are. I made it. This is the summit of Great End. It's quite stony, but what an amazing view. I mean, if it was clearer, you could see, apparently you can see Ireland, but of course it's too hazy for that. But it's so still. It's really, there's hardly any wind, and it's just so peaceful. It's just bliss. Right, so I need to find somewhere fairly flat and stone free. And there is the summit of Scawfell. I was going to have a little evening walk to it, but it's a bit late for that now. It's 8:15 at night. Sunset is about 9:45, I think. Right, so I found a nice place to camp, nice flat bit of grass, so I will set myself up and see. So I'm just going to get the rest of my kit sorted out and enjoy the sunset, not sunrise, sunset. It's been a long day. Got the tent on full ventilation just to make it a bit cooler, and then I'm gonna get a cup of tea on the go, and then get my food, and then it's time for well-earned beer. There's the top of Scawfell Pike. It's hard to believe that it's 10 at night. It's it's still essentially daylight. But then we are close to the longest day of the year, so wow. Don't even have to have a torch on for this. In the distance, you've got, that's Ravenglass. Yeah, Ravenglass there. Well, good morning. A little bit breezy, and sadly I missed the sunrise because I was asleep. A bit broken sleep until 3 o'clock, and then I was out for the count. So, but I did get a picture. I did look out my tent at 3 o'clock, so and it was nice. Red glow, but yeah, I missed it, but never mind. Bit breezy, bit chilly. So currently on 6:30 in the morning, and I'm going to check the wind speed because it feels windy. Hang on. So wind speed up here currently is 50 miles per hour. What, 15, not 50. So it's time for a brew and then make me breakfast. It's a bit blustery today, but thankfully it doesn't look like there's any major rain clouds, so fingers crossed for that. Nothing like a brew in the morning. And especially when you're 1,000 metres up. Perfect. And the weather is actually alright. It's not overly sunny, but it's not too windy, it's not too cloudy, and the visibility is pretty good really. So yeah, I'll be making me porridge in a minute. Right, and now for the most important meal of the day. Porridge, which is actually homemade with chia seeds as well, just for a bit more energy. So this, unlike the other meals I've got, is a lot cheaper, but you can't beat porridge. It's really good for the energy levels. So yeah, and then I'll be packing up in a minute and then head off over to Crinkle Craggs, Bowfell and Pike Blisco. I think so I've just packed up my tent and my kit, and as always leave no trace of because of the prevailing wind, because of the wind, I've had to leave the pegs pegged out whilst I fold it up, and then I had to collect all the pegs up after. So I just made a quick scan around just to make sure I've got all my pegs, and they are all there. Yeah, so I'll just leave it as I found it, so that everyone else can enjoy it as much as I have. This is Pike. There we go. All the way up there. It is beautiful though. When it's clear and not too blustery like it is right now, it's absolutely lovely. In fact, I'm going to have to take the jumper off because I'm going to get too hot. Right, one layer down. It's always important to have layers anyway, because is very changeable weather in the mountains, even when it's nice in the valley. So, whoops, so yeah, when you're planning the routes on the map and you count the contours, it's too easy just to think that, oh, that'll be dead easy. But in fact, when you see it in reality, it can be a lot steeper. Even though the contours are close together, it does slow up considerably, and that is why I had issues the last time. So this is the summit of Pike, and it's quite rocky, as you can see, and you've got to keep your wits about you to keep on track of the path. But the great thing about today is that it's not as hot as yesterday, so it's actually ideal walking conditions. So it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and crucially it's not too windy, and but at least it's not raining. So yeah, Landale Valley down there, and I'm looking toward Bowfell right over there. That's where I'm heading next. Okay, just finding my way over these rocks. You've got to just keep an eye on where you're putting your feet, because of the nature of what it is. You don't have tarmac pavements up here. My destination, Pike Blisco, is that mountain there. So it's actually not far away. So you got Red Town just there. Next stop is Crinkle Craggs, right in front there. Just going to enjoy the view. You can enjoy it when it's like this. When it's claggy and horrible, it's not so enjoyable, but that's Bowfell. It actually looks a lot worse from this side, but yeah, just coming down that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And there's Scarfell to the left. It's right. I won't deny it, this has been the trickiest bit so far of the 2 days I've been on. I'm just coming down one of the crags in. Hopefully Crinkle Craggs, and this is known as the Bad Step. Bad or the Big Step. I think it goes on both names, to be honest. And the only way when you got a big backpack on is to literally drop it down and clamber down yourself. Essentially doing a little bit of bouldering. But yeah, it's not for faint-hearted, that's for sure. So I'm glad I've done that. So that'll be my final ascent for today. It'll probably take between half an hour and 45 minutes to get up there. It doesn't look too bad until you get near the top, I think. So, yeah, nice little final part of an afternoon stroll. I've arrived at my next camp, which is Pike and Blisco. I'm actually just below the summit, partly because it's too rocky on the summit, and I've also come round to the northern aspect of the peak because there's a easterly breeze and the weather is going to be changing tomorrow, so I'm going to be away from the worst of the wind, the weather and the wind overnight. So yeah, but it's got an amazing ledge. It's quite a wide expanse. Most of the grass is actually a bit too steep because I'd end up rolling down the tent. So that's the ledge. But it is so still. Then turn around, and that is where I've come from. I decided there's no point in doing as many miles as I can because you end up not enjoying yourself, and yeah, just takes all the enjoyment out. So today I've literally only done, I think it's 8.5 kilometres, which is 5 miles, but the terrain makes it a lot longer because you can't just walk at normal pace. So I set off at 9:30 this morning from Great End, and it is now 4:30, sorry. So it's taken a while. Well, as you can see, I had to move my pitch because the ground was too soft. The tent pegs went into ground far too easily and they could have easily gone further, and I just didn't trust them to stand up against even the smallest amount of wind really. So I've just moved probably 10 metres lower down onto another ledge, which is possibly a bit more sheltered as well. So I've set up my camp now, and I'm gonna head up. It's about 5:30 in the evening now, so I'm gonna head up to the top and have a beer and just take it all in. So join me up there. Oh, here we are. This is the summit of Pike and Blisco, and it's a bit windier here, and that's also the reason why I pitched my tent a bit lower down on the northern side, because the wind is predominantly coming from that direction, which is the south. It's a southeasterly. Yeah, so I've got my beer. It's actually a Macclesfield brewery, not a local one to the Lake District, and they've also got some Haribos as well. Just a bit of need something sweet. Right, here's a 360 starting from the northern side. You got Bowfell there with Crinkle Craggs. There we go. Way over to the west and no, southwest, sorry. Then looking over to Great Carlton Constant, and not entirely sure what that one is. Then you've got Constant Water way in the distance. There's Constant there. And then we go around to Lake Windermere. There we go. The eastern lakes. Well, geez, more central really, isn't it? Sorry. Eastern lakes is over the horizon there, and then back by the Landale Valley, and back. Right, time to get some food on the go and also a nice cup of tea. So tonight we're going to have a chocolate mousse pudding as well as vegetable chipotle chili with rice. So that'll be nice. So it's one that you basically put the hot water in the bag when it's been boiled. Yeah. So yeah. This is a summit to eat one. Wayfarer do them as well as Adventure Food. I'm not sure which one is best really. These ones, Fire Pot, arguably I think are better. They are, I think they're slightly more expensive, but you get an awful lot of calories in them, so that's why they're a bit dearer. That vegetable chipotle is definitely one to remember to get for a winter camp, because it'll definitely warm your body up. I actually had a cup of tea just to help cool myself down a bit, but as I said last night, these meals look disgusting, but they are absolutely superb to eat. They're so delicious. Well, good morning everyone. I've had a really great sleep and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and what an amazing sunrise. We did have a bit of rain earlier on, but that rain appears to have gone. The tent is only marginally wet, but I suspect the wind will dry it off. You can see the sun reflected in the clouds there. Sorry, not reflecting, shining on a cloud just above Crinkle Craggs. So I've got to the bottom of Pike Blisco. I'm now heading towards the Langdale Valley. It started to try to rain a little bit as I was leaving my pitch from last night. So I put my waterproof on. I had my fleece on at the time as well because it was a little bit chillier. And within 5 minutes I had to take everything off again because I got so hot. And that's the thing really. There's a trade-off between keeping yourself dry and letting the sweat get out. And the rain is nowhere near sufficient to actually keep you drier. So that's where I'm heading next, but because of public rights of way, I can't just go straight across the fields because they're farmers' fields. All of the land in the valley here is private, so there's only certain places, well, certain paths you can go on. In fact, there's only a couple of paths, so that's why I'm having to go into Langdale Valley to come back out again. So I'm going to head down here and then find a turn to the left. Let me go back, I hope. So this part of the route is actually on the Cumbria Way. So this will take me right up over the hill up to Rossetti Pike, and then I'll drop down slightly to Angletown, and then I should be approximately 2.5 hours away walking from Wastdale, or Stonehead, sorry. So yeah, but it's going to be a tough climb up to Rossetti Pike, but it'll be even worse in the rain, so yeah. Ah, that looks so inviting now. Right, so this is where we leave the Cumbria Way. The Cumbria Way carries on up there, but we are going up to Esk House up there. Sometimes when you've got a massive incline like the one today, just so it doesn't keep on sapping your motivation, just don't look too far ahead, just concentrate on literally the next 10 feet in front of you or 6 feet in front of you, and just keep plodding along at a pace that you feel comfortable with. and that way, sure enough, you will get to a you're trying to get to. But if you keep on looking up, you do start to feel a bit demoralised sometimes. Well, that was a killer of a climb, I'm not going to lie. But I estimated it would be about an hour up here, taking into account all the contours. And it's pretty much bang on that estimate, so I'm happy about that. Well, it didn't get too slow going up. So this is the famous Angle Tarn. Ah. Cool. So I'm in a handy little shelter between Great End and Angle Tarn. It's a bit windy up here, but at least it's cooler. And that rain at the time being has actually stayed away, but there is a black cloud looming over the west. So I'm just going to have a quick snack and then carry on my way.
This is where we met the ladies left us and then they went up to the top.
It's absolutely gorgeous up here.
Yeah, you do it.
I do cooking, I make fire. Look, my job is to get us here. Your job is to get us here.
Now that is a welcome sight. That is Hostel Head in the distance. And what a beautiful sight. So just probably another hour and a half and I'll be down in the bottom. Okay, so I'll see you down there. Okay, so I'm almost back at the car, and what an epic 3 days it's been, to be honest. And even the weather's held out. I suspect the weather's going to change later on today. That's also what the forecast was saying as well, but this forecast does occasionally wrong, but yeah. The only thing I've got an issue with at the moment is the last 4K my feet have been killing me, so I need to investigate that. There are a couple of blitters, but I think there's something a bit more of an issue really. So I'll have to investigate that one. Other than that, it has been such an amazing 3 days. So, yeah. I will see you on the next one.